Hello everybody, welcome back to the Dark World. And I'm out exploring, looking for bees, and found this wasteland biome. It looks like we got some red rock mountains over there too. Big meteorite. But the most interesting thing is this modest hive that I found out here. I've been looking for these. These usually only appear in deserts, but I guess they can appear in wastelands too, so that's good. That'll give us our modest bees. And there's another hive right there. So that's good. Oh yeah. Ignoble, ignoble. Oh well. So, I'll keep looking around. I think I have all the bees that I need right now. I think there's some NBs as well. Might have to find. Gloriosa. Nope, nothing we learned from that. Nope. That's it from there. Alright, I'll continue my explorations. We don't really need anything in there. I might just go in there and see what's in there, but we've got all the presses we need, so we really don't need to go hunting these meteors anymore. I collect some of this material as well. So I'll cut back when I have something else to show, or if I get back to the base. So I ran across this village out here. And it's got some interesting things, such as these spider dungeon over there. You don't see that every day. We get some oil. I don't know if I'd want to eat those crops if it's covered in oil like that, but so full of oil up here. But otherwise, yeah, this is not a very interesting village, really. I think I'm kind of past the point of needing villages anymore. Although this looks like a Thaumcraft tower, possibly. But actually, I don't think it is. No, it's just a church. And there's some lag. So, yeah, no blacksmith even. Alright, I'll cut until I find something else interesting. Okay, we're back at the base. And a couple things I want to do. We've got this upgrade here, augment, top level. And this thing, pulverizer needs to be upgraded one last time, so I go ahead and show you guys how that's done, since I didn't actually show it for the previous ones. For this, we're going to need Enderium gear. This is what we need the Enderium for. And it's where did there it is. Pulverizer, like that. So it goes from reinforced to resonant. And these are all the different recipes. It says basic over on the side, but that's not what it produces. This is your basic recipe here. This is the top level. Alright, so you'd start with this one, then you'd want to use this recipe, then this recipe, and finally this recipe, which is what we got here. And it gives you your fully upgraded version. And each time you upgrade it, you get an extra slot down here. So now we can put that in there. So now this is maxed out. Can't go any higher than this. This far as the plus secondary chance option. There's other augments you can get, of course, but I think this is probably one of the best ones for the pulverizer, at least. Alright, so that's done. Next thing I want to do, since we're... yeah. I've worked on the... stuff down here a little bit more. What are the runes? Finally got all this level complete, so now we're up to tier 3, should be. Take a look and make sure. Yep, tier 3 altar. And it actually says they're at the top, so... and so for tier 3, we want a next level blood orb. Magicians, I guess. We need a block of gold for that. We're gonna need quite a bit of them. 25,000. And this can only hold 10,000. So that's a little problematic. Probably gonna need some augmented capacity runes. Some of these. Butte slate, tier 3, so. Okay, so we're not going to be able to make the next tier of blood orb at the moment, but that's not really what I wanted to make anyway. What I want to make. Heal up. Okay. We need some lapis. Yeah, I think there's enough in there. Let that go, and that'll turn into... ta-da! Inscription tool. So this goes into making the rituals, which I haven't shown yet. Next thing we're gonna need is one of those. Let's get the knife out here. That's the fire one. So we got the water, fire. This one should give us the earth, I believe. So there's 4 of them, of course. Earth, water, air, and fire. That'll be the next one. Sure enough, earth. So this one's going to be air. And we got enough. Yeah, we got enough. So, type ritual. We're going to need ritual stones. Some of these guys. We're going to need a master ritual stone. And then we're going to need one of these as well. And this is what I'm working on right now. And so, yeah, you can see we need these 4 runes. Emerald and diamond. Then you can upgrade it to this, which can place dusk runes as well. This one can't. So this is the updated version, but we're not going to be able to get to this one yet. But we can start with this one. And we have those. And we just need... is it emerald and 4 diamonds? Yeah, emerald and 4 diamonds. And some diamonds here. Emerald is not, yeah, there. Alright. Pop that in, and it doesn't want to go. This goes here. Not sure which way these went. Figure it out by trial and error. Or we'll just look. And what you can do is you can shift right click. Just right click doesn't change the direction. But if you shift right click, changes the ritual in question that you want to do. And then when you look at it, it'll tell you, if you hold shift, it tells you what runes you need. So we need air stones, blank stones, we need 8 of those, don't need any water, don't need any dusk, and so forth. So we'll get into that a little bit later. What I really want to use this for, I don't think we can use it for yet. I think we're going to need the dusk stones. And the ritual in question, I think, is speed, shepherd, well of suffering. I think it's well of suffering. And that needs dusk stones. So we need to upgrade this a bit more first before we can get to that. So for now, we're just going to put this in here. That goes there, this goes here, something like that, I don't know. Alright. So, next thing I want to do is work on the bees a little bit more. We've got the cultivated are doing pretty good, as well as the common. Got a half stack of those. Oh, I've rearranged this a bit, expanded this to make it a little bit bigger. I've set these up so we have 4 of them feeding in the chests. And each one of these hives is actually isolated from the others, so we can't get, you know, a bee from here going into this hive. We don't want that to happen. We want these all to be purebreds. We don't want any mixing going on in like an automated system, because who knows what you're going to get, you know. You want to be able to exercise more control over what goes on. There's the modest. It needs arid and hot, and we don't have that biome here, so we can't really do anything with that at present. But hopefully after this episode we'll be able to do something about that, because we're going to modify our bees. We're going to do some genetic engineering. I redecorated this room a bit. We still got our 2 machines here, and what I want to do is make 2 more machines. One's going to be a sampler. Looks like this. And another one, I'll get to the other one after I finish this one. So let's get started. Alright, so what do we need? We need one of these processors right here. Grab one of those. We are going to need 4 copper gears. I think I got all the gears we're going to need for this. Need a casing, bee receptacle, and a power module. So there's one of those. Those. Power module, we're going to need these, 2 of those. And there we go. And miscellaneous stuff, 1 diamond. We got a diamond right there, so and I just fill it like this. So if you don't know how this works, you hold down shift and then you just left click on the question mark and it'll pull things from your inventory and fill it in up here automatically, which makes it a little bit simpler to do recipes. You don't have to actually drag them up there manually. So there's our sampler. The other thing we're going to want is the imprinter, and we don't want this one, we want this one, the Gendistry one. 4 gears again. Alright, this time we're going to need 2 bee receptacles and pretty much all the rest of the stuff that we had before. So we need 2 of these. 2 pistons, and we're out of stone. So 2 pistons for the 1 power module. We needed one of these and machine casing. Alright, that should do it. So a lot of these Genistry machines, you'll notice, use a lot of similar components, which the work table helps a lot because you can pump those out easily. So let's go to our machines. The way we've got it set up, we got power running here, so good. So I put the sampler here and the imprinter here, and that's what the sampler looks like, and this is what the imprinter looks like. Alright, so next thing we're going to need, I'm going to build a chest to store a lot of the stuff in that we're going to get. But I don't want an ordinary chest, I want a bigger chest. So we're gonna, this is an iron chest mod. You can take a regular chest, upgrade to a copper chest first, and the copper chest has quite a bit more inventory. Right? And then you can take that, make sure we're gonna need glass. Put that there. Do a little diamond with glass. This is the iron chest. It's the one that the mod's named after. A little bit bigger, has an extra row. Copper only had 5 rows, this one has 6. We can upgrade this again. This time we'll make it silver. Like so. And silver is where we're going to stop, but you can upgrade it more. Go to gold, and then after gold you can upgrade it to a diamond chest, and this is going to have the biggest capacity of all of them. And you can upgrade it again, make it a crystal chest where you can see the items inside of it, or you can surround it with obsidian to make the obsidian chest, and this one's blast proof, so it can't be blown up by creepers or anything. But I want to keep this silver chest. The capacity is not as good, but I think it will match this room a lot better. Yeah. And it's got quite a bit of capacity. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's got actually 2 more rows than the iron version had. So that's good. So for this, we're going to need these. Something to fill in here. Something to fill in here. Those we already have over here, actually. And we can just borrow some of those. Does this need them? Yeah, this needs some too. So put some there. Put some here. So what are these? These are samples, I believe. Yeah. I should make a blank sample. If you have a sample you don't want anymore, you can just throw it in a furnace to clear them out again, make them blank. Oh, you can squeeze a little bit of liquid DNA out of them as well. Interesting. So we need tin and redstone. And we could use quite a few of these actually. Redstone, some tin. Probably gonna need even more tin. Why don't we cook up some more? Okay. And this gives us a different type of tin. Put this here. So there's 3. That'll get us started. Okey-doke. So how does this this work? I don't want to go in there. These go in here. Now we need a B. You can see the B symbol. So, what B do we want to use? Well, I think these are extra from, well, I'm only keeping a stack of drones. These are my good pairs. I'll keep a stack of drones and one of the princesses. And so these should all be purebred. Yeah. Actually, no, it's not forest that I want. Wintry drones. Do we have any wintry up here? We do. So I think this is what this chest here. These are just junk drones that I don't need anymore. What I'm probably going to do, since they have some aspects on them, I'll just use them with the deconstructing table with Thaumcraft. So the reason I want the wintry ones, you know, so they got 4 times fertility, and that's really good. I'd like to try to grab that. And what the sampler does, it samples one of these traits. You don't know which trait you're going to get. So we're going to try. Hopefully we'll get lucky and get the 4 times fertility. And our first one we get is fertility 4. So that's all we need. Not bad. Although it's going to do one more, I guess. And the slowest trait, flowering. That's not very useful. So we're probably going to want to burn that one and clear it out again. This one on the other end will be useful though. Can we put this here? No, we can't. So we need something here, which is a gene something, I think. Is that it? No. Gene sample. This thing. Template. Alright. And these you can clear out the same way. Genetic template. Can be added to the template. Combine them in any crafting table. Multiple samples can be added at once. Alright. Transposer. So we need diamond, we need tin, and redstone. A little more expensive, but we don't need too many of these. So that's okay, I guess. So 1 diamond, tin, and redstone. Our tin's in here. Should have some redstone here. Like so. Oh, we had some there. I think these went in the corner. Gives us our template. So, you just combine these like this. Now it's got 1 chromosome. You'll see this has a list of 13 possible chromosomes that can all fit in within this template. And we've supplied 1 of the 13. Then we get our blank one. We might as well clear that one out while we're at it, since that one's pretty useless. Why you'd want slowest for flowering, I have no idea. But there you go. If you do, then there it is. So, now with this template, what we can do is anything that's filled in with the template, we've only got 1 gene, I guess, filled in, 1 chromosome. So we can use the imprinter now to imprint what we have on our template. If we had all 13 filled in, then we'd override all 13 with whatever B we put in there. As it is, we're only going to override the fertility and nothing else. We could do other things like effect, lifespan. We could put those in there as well, and then it'd have 3, and it would overwrite those 3 properties on the B in question that you throw in there. So, what do we want to put in here? We don't have what we want. It's going to be over in our chest, B chest over here. bees we caught out in the wild. And yes, we want the Rocky. The Rocky, if we take a look at it, has only one fertility. So we're not going to be able to reproduce these things and make a lot of drones as it stands. We need to increase the fertility, so we might as well increase it to maximum. So we'll throw this in. And it uses up some genetics labware. So this is your limiting factor, really, in power. Otherwise, you can just keep doing this all you want. And we'll do a drone as well. That way, when they mate, we'll be guaranteed basically to have the fertility for, right? We want, because otherwise it's going to be a mix of the two. If we didn't do the drone, we'd have a fertility 4 from the queen, the princess, but we'd have a fertility 1 from the drone. So all the offspring would be a mix of those two, and yeah, it gets a little messy. So we stick those in, and away they go. And there's stone underneath this, I think. Yep, a layer of stone, which is what they need for their flower. Rocks. So it's actually not a flower, but they need stone nearby, so that's why we give them that. And we could pull that trait off them and stick it on, like the cultivated, for example. No, they would use rock then, and so forth. So you can see what we can accomplish. I mean, we can modify these bees quite a bit and give them any kind of properties we want. And that's well, basically what we're going to do. There's where is it here? No, I stuck it in here, I think. Yeah, the modest needs cactus rather than flowers, and I don't really want to use cactus, so I'm probably going to pull either the Rocky. I'll probably pull the Rocky trait off it, or maybe the flowers. I'll probably grab both of them, and I'll stick one or the other onto the modest, so we don't have to deal with the cactus. The other thing is we're going to have to look for something that's got a wider range. I mean, this has got, the T stands for temperature, which is hot. It requires a hot biome. Both, one means it can go up or down. One scale of temperature, I guess. So down one from hot would be warm. Up one from hot would be hellish. So this bee can exist in either a hellish, hot, or warm temperature biome. And it can go arid. Up one would be normal. So it can handle normal humidity. So what we need is like a temperature tolerance of down 2, or both 2, something like that. And then this would be just fine here in this biome. So we can go scanning all our bees and try to figure out, you know, what has what we want, or we can try to utilize this thing. We're gonna need a diamond still, and a glass pane. Glass pane we got, so we need a diamond. So I'll go grab a diamond, and then we'll make one of these, and I'll show you how that works. Oh, I also upgraded my traveler's goggles. Put that night vision on there. And what that does, I got my night vision on now. And you'll notice it's not counting down. So it's a permanent night vision. It'll stay, it doesn't like start flashing, doesn't wear off, and I have to turn it back off and on again. So that's kind of a nice upgrade, I like that. Diamond, and we'll make our apiarist database. There's several databases. We've got the botanist one, we've got the apiarist and the arborist. Arborist is for trees. And then there's this gene database that goes with the genetics mod. Which we're not really using the genetics mod machine since they're kind of broken. So it doesn't really matter, I guess. And this is what it looks like. And you've got various tabs, and you've got all your different species over here. So species, branches, and then breeder. So we're gonna look at like the Rocky, for example. Classification, genome, products, climate, which is interesting. It's not showing us anything there. Resultant mutations. Alright, so this is kind of handy. You can see how to make different things. Now these, we haven't discovered this species yet. Rocking some discovered species, and we don't know what the species is, but we have discovered it. But we haven't actually done this mutation, so it doesn't tell us what it's going to produce yet. So this basically gives you a database of everything you've bred so far, and so you can go back and look up, you know, how to do things. You can also see if there's something you haven't done yet, so you can see no mutations. So then you get different branches. Apis, silly names. So anyway, this species, there's 4 of them in this particular branch. This we only have 1 so far in this. Veil is 3. And it gives you a little bit of information about it. This thing, I'm not entirely sure how that works. Anyway, climate's what I want to know, and unfortunately it's not filling up anything in here. Okay, we're not seeing it, but modest, you can see warm, hot, hellish. So this is the temperature scale. And this is the, so normal, arid. So up 1, up 1's going this direction, down's going to the left. So if we look at, yeah, it doesn't, should all be in here. I think it's supposed to list the biomes that you can find it in, or the match the criteria. So this thing's slightly buggy still, I guess. Because in the past, I mean, you'd see bars in here, and it'd be blank if it didn't have that. Cultivated. So there's normal. Okay, maybe this thing's not going to be as useful as I thought. We're probably going to have to go through every single bee and look at what their tolerances are. Once we find one that's got a nice high tolerance, we'll take that aspect off of it. So we might have to breed quite a few just to find them. Actually, I'll probably just go and look on a wiki and hunt down and find out what's got the best one, and then we'll shoot for that particular species, figure out how to breed it. Would be the best way. Because I'd like to just be able to do everything right here, and I have to run around to different biomes to, you know, be able to well, not breed them, but do this, you know, have them just keep generation after generation building up drones. Is what I want to try to do. I'd like to get more, because when you use this thing, the advanced mutatron, it takes a princess, it takes a drone, it'll combine them into a queen, so you lose both the princess and the drone. And if that's the only one you have of it, then now you don't have one. So if I had like a common, if I use my one common princess, now I don't have a common princess anymore, because it'll be mutated into whatever was over here. So if there's another thing that I can do with common, then I'll need another common, and I don't have it. So to make more princesses, you need a lot of drones. And drones, I mean, you might start off with one, like I have this pair. Well, they're combined in there. But when you mutate them, you might get a couple drones. It's good to have more drones though, and have the option to be able to make more. So that's kind of the goal. So we're good. We can store the, well, we don't really have a lot to put in there yet. This one we're just keeping in here. Probably use that. I'll probably imprint a couple of other bees as well with that trait, because that's one of the best. It's a 4 times fertility. You get a lot more drones a lot more quickly that way. If you don't want a whole lot of drones anymore, and you're just getting tired, you're getting all these drones, you don't want them anymore, then you might want to go with fertility 1. So that might be a good one to grab as well, and then you'll start imprinting your bees with that particular characteristic later. Alright, and that's about everything that I want to cover here. So yeah, things are going nicely. I'll might do a little bit more. Let's take a look at well, let me just grab all of these because that's going to fill up anyway. This one I think is empty, yeah. So let's put one in here, and I'll demonstrate what I was talking about before. Let's go get a new princess. And we're going to make a new cultivated princess, because we only have the one. We've got plenty of unusuals. So we'll grab one of those. And stick it in here. So we know that breeding these two, the offspring we're going to get are going to be a mix of the two, right? So second time around, none of the drones are going to be able to stack with this, and we don't really want them to because they're going to be a mix. The princess that we get from it will be a mix of the two, so it'll have a cultivated half and an unusual half. We'll stick it in here and we'll breed it with this cultivated purebred. So you've got a 75% chance of getting that cultivated or sticking around. Is that what I'm trying to say? 75% chance of it being a pure cultivated princess on the next generation after that. And so if we're lucky to be a pure, and then these will, you know, pure, and it's always going to be pure after that. If we're unlucky and it's not pure, if it's still a mix, the princess will come back in here. We'll do it again. We got a 75% chance. Sooner or later, you know, the luck's going to run out, and we're going to not have the bad luck anymore, and we're going to get the other one, and then it'll be pure. So this is how you go about making some other princess into this one. So I'll go ahead and cut, and we'll see what the second generation looks like. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back, and it turns out we got a mutation here. Eldritch Princess, which cultivated with, you know, mystical, unusual. It's an unusual, I think, right? Only 12% chance, but we got lucky and got it. So that's interesting, but it's only half. So that's fine. I think we'll just breed this out. Does have fast, but we can produce this pretty easily when we want to, so yeah, we're just gonna stick that back in, and we'll go to the next generation and see what we get. So I'll cut and be back for that. Okay, and we got the eldritch again. Eldritch cultivated. But we got fast on both. That's kind of interesting. Alright, yeah, we'll go another generation and see what happens. So this generation wasn't so lucky. We seem to have gotten the exact same things before. Another thing I noticed with the Eldritch cultivated pair, if we look, Eldritch cultivated can give us charmed. Cultivated Eldritch, esoteric. So we we could still get more mutation. We could get a charmed or an esoteric out of this. So we'll see what happens. I'll be back. Okay. And this time we got cultivated. And it looks like everything else is the same as well. So we got a purebred. So there we go. These should reproduce. We should get more and more cultivated drones that will stack with that now. And you can see some of the byproducts ones, mixes we've gotten. These we can kind of get some esoteric. Unusual. Mystical. So they're not stacking, so there's something a little strange about these guys, I guess. These are the only two I haven't, the other two I haven't messed with too much yet. So we get the modest. These are going to be a little bit trickier. This one, you can see, requires lily pads. That's for flowers. And damp. Oh, it should work in normal. I want to get rid of that lily pads. Well, yeah, I probably want to get rid of the lily pads. And the embittered requires nether. Now, when you see nether for a flower, that referring to netherwort. This also needs a hellish biome, arid. So this is designed for the nether. So yeah, I can't really do any of these three yet. These, I'm not sure why these are in here. Oh. What were those? Unusual. Unusual here. Oh, got my Rockies here. I got some more Rockies already. 6 drones. Not bad. And nothing breeding there. I think the unusuals are here. Mystical. Unusual. And those stack. Alright. So, that kind of shows you how you can make new princesses and get more drones in the case of the Rockies. But yeah, so now we have a cultivated princess here, and a cultivated princess will be here as well. So we've got 2 of them going. This has got a ways to go. This one, not quite as much. I'm going to throw it here, let it die off, so we can get the princess out. It's nighttime, so I'm going to go rest. I'll cut and I'll be back when we have the princess. Okay, and we got our princess back. And these ones should stack with those, yep, so that's good. And I also want to grab 1 common. and stick them in here. And you'll notice there's two choices. So with this breeding pair, you can actually get either diligent or noble. So you have both options. We'll go with diligent, I guess. Diligent. Click. Oh, we don't have enough mutagen. So I'll have to get some more redstone and fill this up. But we're going to want both of these combinations. And if we look at what cultivated compare with, a modest gives sinister, we can get galvanized, unwearied, charmed, majestic, farmed, excited, eldritch, esoteric, fiendish. So there's a lot of different branches that cultivated can be used for. So we could use the drones and a princess from other types, or we could use princesses, cultivated princesses. And so being able to produce more princesses of the type you want, and this is how you do it. Making more princesses is very useful for being able to breed the other ones you need. And you're going to need a princess from one or the other, so which one you use doesn't matter. I mean, we look with this one, we had the common and the cultivated here. Gosh, lag. This could have been a common princess, and we could use the cultivated drone. Would have done exactly the same thing. So it doesn't matter which one is which. You just have to have one of one type and the other of the other type, and it has to have that. It has to be a pair that will produce a mutation, and then you can select the mutation you want down here. So, yeah, if it takes like basic ones, like yeah, let's take a look at the cultivated again. So modest is, maybe you find a lot of modists out in the world. You can find some of these out in the wild. Valiant, you're not going to find too often. Mystical, there's a lot of mystical ones out there. So using a mystical princess with the cultivated drone would probably be a lot easier trying to breed another cultivated princess. So this is an example where you'd probably want to use the mystical princess. Sinister, cultivated, tropical. You might find more tropicals. I haven't had the best luck finding a lot of tropicals though. I've only found one pair, I think. Attuned. I don't know if that one's a naturally occurring one or not. Unusual. We got a lot of unusuals, so that's another one. But that produces the eldritch as well. So with the wild bees, I mean, if it involves one of the wild bees, you can usually find a lot of those out in the world, and you might as well use those princesses up in the mutation. All the extras you have. You probably want to keep one around just in case. But so there you go. That's genetic manipulation of bees, and we can use that to do all kinds of interesting things. So I might work on some more different branches and stuff. I'm definitely going to go with both of these, make both of these up, and work on those lines. Those will produce different branches. If we look at the diligent, I'm going to go with rocky and go into the tolerant thing. Modest, we'll give this a yellow. Ancient, these ones live long lifespans, this branch. So if you want longer life, then that's a good one. Water starts the ocean. You can eventually get down to something, a bee that'll produce like ink sacs. Frigid goes down the wintry path. Sugary. Blue, white, red, brown. So we got a lot of different colored ones. Here's the main one though. Diligent, cultivated, unweary. And the unweary with the it's not too many of these. Diligent plus unweary gives you industrious. And this is the end of this particular branch, and what this one does. This way, industrious. Gives us this pollen, which is used if you're going to go into the apiaries. You're going to need those, plus the royal jelly, so you're going to need to do the royal line as well. And these you use to make the alvearies with, and you need a bunch of them. And you need honey, so you're going to produce lots of honey and so forth. The alvearies are not cheap to make, I'll tell you that right now. But they are a lot better. They're a lot more efficient than the apiaries. So they're worthwhile to do. Plus they've got various upgrades that you can put in to do interesting things. So I think that'll do it for this episode. I'll do some more branches, and we might do some more bees next time. We might do some other stuff. We might do both. So we'll see what happens. But that's it for today. So hope you guys enjoyed the show. If you liked it, go ahead and leave a like. Subscribe if you'd like to. Tell your friends. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care, everybody.